Hey everyone, Docwell, and this is another video. It's the 5 position for the 7.36B, and I'm still sick and all that stuff from the last one. That's why these are late, but I'm trying to get these out. I already made the list, so I'm trying to do it and get it over with, go through it. I'm trying to, give you some details, but maybe not as much as we once had before. So anyway, I'm not going to delay any longer. We can just jump into it, and you can see that S tier is literally exactly the same as the 4 position, except for some things got switched up because these heroes are really good. So Clockwork, same thing as before. The awesome new cogs are just very, very good, and so you can play him in a 5 position. In fact, he might even be better as a 5 because you don't really need farm on the hero. He just like jumps in, use your cogs, use your thing, do all the stuff you used to do, and bing, bang, boom, you're golden, to be honest. Now, he probably does work a little bit better with like certain matchups with your carry. Just keep that in mind. If you're with a melee carry, sometimes that can be weird. But you're also honestly picking Clockwork first anyway, so who cares? Then we have Witch Doctor. Again, same thing. Voodoo Festration. His hero's broken. Just insane. There's nothing really more you need to say about that, to be honest. I mean, I don't need to spend more time on Witch Doctor, do I? I don't think so. Dark Willow, same thing. Very good hero for the reasons that I spoke of in the 4 position list, and is a very good 5 as well. Doesn't necessarily need farm. You can just honestly play with like a Yules or a 4-staff or like a Shard, and that's all you really need. That's honestly one of the things that makes these heroes good too, is they don't really need that many items to be good. Like even Witch Doctor, like what do you really need as an item? You can get Glimmer Cape, and that's like it. Like that's really all you need. Everything else is extra. Then instead of the Spear Breaker and the Tiny, now we have an Oracle and a Treant Protector. So Oracle's really good now because, I mean, the passive is just kind of, I guess, broken, you could say, for mid, which is pretty cool. Except the one thing that happens is, if you have, which I experienced myself, if you have everybody muted in the game, you can't actually, you don't know where the runes are spawning. But this obviously helps out mid a lot. Now, I feel like the lower MMR you go, the worse this is, because people don't even care. They're not even contesting the runes with intelligent, like, map play anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But hey, at least maybe it like makes you think about the runes more, so it's like helps in that way. But in any case, that's just really good. And then spell amp is going to be good, or heal amp is going to be good. So I mean, again, free shit, and that's awesome. So I would maybe take this more. I actually didn't look up. You could probably look up which one's better, which I didn't do that before this because again I'm sick, so I'm like not doing as much research. But I think they're actually both really good. It's just that this one is probably more defensive in nature if you feel like your team's going to carry. This one, if you want to do just like way more damage and like carry the game with kills, which some oracles I see had do that. But people are probably taking the heal more because it is more important with the save and everything. It's more of what the 5 is going to do. And Treant's just really good overall. I mean, this hero's been so good for a long time. All these things are pretty good. The plus 5 base attack damage per hero level is like, I mean, kind of weird. This one is decent. Again, I don't think that either one of these is like giga broken, like, oh, this is insane. And then this passive is just what he kind of always did. So there's nothing super new there. But again, this hero's been good for a very long time. Even before, I think I put it in like S tier the one time, and it was like kind of falling off because it got nerfed. But I still think overall this hero's been super, super good. Just in pubs in general. Like people are picking it a ton. Its win rate is very good. It just dominates the lane. It's hard to pick off and kill. Like it's hard to deal with this guy. His heal is still very good. He can push lanes if he needs to, and then he can just jump in and root everybody in an AoE, which is always going to be very good. So that's why he's great right now as a 5 position. Then we can move on to the A tiers. Weaver, same thing as in the 4 position. I think it's weird that this hero is getting picked as a 5. It's kind of awkward. I didn't want to put it in the A tier, but honestly, it just is, I guess, because it's getting picked a bunch and it's winning a bunch, so I guess it's pretty good. I don't know, it's kind of weird that it is, but whatever. I mean, these days there's 5 carries, so that just seems like what's happening. Winter Wyvern, nothing super special to say about it. It is Winter Wyvern. The extra stuff that it got that I mentioned in the 4 position video, it has that. Disruptor, pretty good right now overall. The Facet, that is dumb, that everyone hates, it sucks, and that just is what it is. But overall, the hero's still good for all the same things that it did before, which is like glimpsing people back. With the damage on that, now it's really good. The Thunder Strike is really, really good. I feel like it's been buffed like a billion times, so it just feels like it does a ton of damage and lasts forever and gives all this vision. It's really, really good. And then obviously late game, If you can get that Ags, you're going to be busted. And then Venge is really good as that carrier off lane, probably better as a 5 than a 4, because if you're playing 4, like, it's awkward. You're not really going to get farm as much. But then if you're playing 5, you don't really need as much farm. You can just do all the same things you do from a 5 position with literally 0 items. And then if you get an Ags, that's just a bonus. If you get anything else other than that, it's just a bonus. So you don't really need to, you don't have to worry as much about dying and all that kind of stuff if you're Avenge 5, and it's just all about the save, all about picking people off, getting that shield and all that kind of stuff. Then we have Shadow Shaman, still very, very, very good, but not broken like it was before because it got nerfed a bunch. But still very good. You can definitely pick it, especially as a 5 position. Everyone knows what this hero does now with the clucking thing and the whatever running around and the, dispelling teammates and stuff, all that kind of crazy stuff. Veno, A tier, I don't know, man. I hate Veno. I'm putting it here because people are picking it. It's winning in the high MMR pubs, but I hate the hero. I'm sorry, I just hate the hero. I think it sucks. I never like it in pubs. That's just my personal opinion because I feel like it always is useless. It does nothing. Like, you spit on people, you put Gale on them in the first 5 minutes, and it's like, well, we better get kills, but you absolutely know that in your pubs you get a 5 Veno and he misses every single freaking Gale, dude. And it's just like, why do you exist? And then after 6 minutes, he literally is the squishiest hero in the world, and he's so freaking slow, and he just dies. Literally at the end of the game, he has 15 to 20 deaths every time, and he missed every Gale. I'm sorry. That's my Veno rant, guys. You know what I'm talking about. Don't act like you don't know. Don't act like I'm wrong about this Veno, okay, guys? I see comments sometimes saying this and that about the other thing, about the things that I say, and I don't care, honestly. It's not a big deal, because obviously there, some people, they get mad about different things I say. Sometimes I bait people by saying things. The Darkseer thing is one that I think by this point everyone knows I'm just baiting with that. But this one, there's no Veno players out there that don't understand that this is how it is, okay? And every one of you knows this is how it is. So don't try to kid me. Don't try to act like I'm wrong about Veno, okay? Even though it's A tier, even though the pros are winning with it, I don't care. Anyway, that's the Veno rant. We're moving on. Phoenix, pretty good. Same thing that it did before in the 4 position. It's good now with the burning thing, with the AoE. If you get late game and you have your Ags and you have all the stuff, you're going to be good. It's a pretty good hero, honestly. And the fact that it's ranged, you can dominate lanes, to be honest, sometimes. I've seen Phoenixes in the 5 position dominate lanes, which is kind of surprising because it feels like, this hero shouldn't... It should be pretty easy without a lot of levels, but really once you hit level 2, I mean, you shouldn't die unless you're bad. That's another thing, too. You have to know what you're doing. Then Io, basically this hero is just all about pairing. So you have to know what you're doing. You have to play the hero and understand what to do, how to gank, how to play with your carry, how to play with the right hero if it's not the carry, all that kind of stuff. So it's really a specialist hero. Then we have Elder Titan. If you want to play carry from the 5 position and you're not picking Witch Doctor, you're picking Elder Titan. This guy's insane. You literally cast the freaking thing and you just run around and hit all the creeps and you stack camps, and then you play against CK half the time and you get a bajillion and a half damage, and you go Ags and you just you punch people in the face with your stapler, and you kill supports in 2 hits. And that's what the hero does. And also, nobody knows what the passive does. I mean, you can look at... I'm telling you right now, you can go look at what the passive does. You can intellectually understand what the passive does. You can know it by heart. You can tell me what it does in the comments, and yet I know for a fact that you still don't know what it does. In the sense that when you're in the game, you're not thinking about what the passive does, and everyone, it just ignores it, and everyone forgets, and then he runs at you, and he clicks you in the face, and his thing is around, and you do take more damage, and you just die. And everyone's like, what's going on? And it's like, buddy, you have no armor, you're deleted. And that's what happened. That's my story. Anyway, B tier, we have Pudge. This guy's fat, and I hate that he's B tier, and I hate that this is what's happening in my life right now, because people pick Pudge 5 and they pretend it's not griefing, and it is griefing, and I don't care. I'm just ranting today. I don't care that everyone says that it's not griefing now, and it isn't griefing now, and that's actually the truth now, and that this is the opposite of Veno, where it is 100% not griefing now, and it's actually good, and people are picking it and winning with it, and this hero just seems weirdly broken. And But I don't care. I'm being stubborn. I'm stuck in my ways. I'm becoming an old man. And this hero, if I see a Pudge 5 in my game, I, I'm not going to say what I'm going to do. I'm not going to say it. But we can move on. Crystal Maiden, still just kind of, run-of-the-mill, average, decent, nothing crazy special about the hero to be spoken of, honestly. I don't think, what even happened with this?
Feel the chill.
Yeah, the mana, we get it, okay? The freezing field, we get it. The cold comfort, we get it, okay? This one can be good, obviously, if you have a very high spell casting hero in your lane, which sometimes happens for the carry, but not often. But if it does, that can be really, really good, obviously, to pick. And then we have Warlock. I think this hero is just really good in pubs, especially low MR pubs. You can just straight up carry with Warlock. But, it got buffed a bunch, kind of came up into the A tier, then got nerfed a little bit. But I don't think it got nerfed into oblivion, to be honest. And I've seen some Warlocks really own. Then we have Abaddon, kind of an awkward one. Felt like this hero was really, really good at the beginning of the patch, and then they nerfed the shield, and now it just feels like nobody's picking it anymore, but it is still decent. You can definitely still pick it. You can definitely still get the free Blade Mail shield, and it can definitely be good. Ogre, kind of a weird hero, but nothing super crazy to say about it. I mean, this hero stuns people, and it casts, the burn on people. And then honestly, the biggest thing that this hero does, the number one thing the hero does is give attack speed. So literally, if you just have this, I know it's just cliche and it is what it is, and this hero is a brain dead damaged hero that just has no brain, and that's the kind of the lore of the hero, even though there's 2 brains but there's actually 0. It is what it is with the actual playing of the hero, and all you need to do is just don't worry about anything, just cast attack speed on your carry, and then you just win. Do you have a PA on your team, even though PA is bad right now, but whatever, you have a Jug on your team or something, you just cast the attack speed on them, and then you just win the game. Bounty, I don't know why it's here. It's another one of these pudges that's how is this hero getting picked as a 5 and actually winning? I don't know, but apparently it's okay right now. But it's just weird. I don't want to spend too much time on it because I don't want to encourage you guys to pick this hero as a 5. Because to me, if I see that, again, I'm saying you're probably griefing. Then Grimstroke, just middle of the road hero right now. Just nothing crazy new, nothing crazy special, but not completely bad. Then Lion, still pretty, he's kind of just still surviving, like I said in the 4-position video, from all those buffs that he got before. Then he kind of got hurt with all those nerfs. He was S tier for a little bit. But now he's just kind of floating there in the middle. Nothing crazy new, nothing crazy different, but still definitely viable. And then Lich is an awkward, weird one, because personally, I've seen Lich's own. I think this hero is really good. I think it can really, honestly, stomp in pubs. You get all that mana from the last hit since the creep's dying around you, and you can just spam a bunch of stuff in lane. With your shard, your ult becomes amazing. Also, the facet that allows your ult to just hover around the one guy, even if there's not another target, makes it so that you're not punished. So I think this hero is actually really, really good. So I think this is one where I think it may not be good in Immortal, especially high MMR pubs, because I think it's more of just a low MMR pub kind of hero. I think that's just personally what I think it is. But I don't know. I think if I was doing a Herald tier list, I think this hero would be S, to be honest. So just look for it to be on the upswing. I would say this is one of those heroes that's definitely underrated. If anything, I might even just be boom, I'm putting it A because it is so good right now, I think. Personally, that's just my opinion. I definitely think it's a very good hero. Then we have D tier Jakiro. I really like this hero because of the double hit deboarding. I think I talked about that before in some video. But it's very, very good right now because of that. But that's kind of the only thing because yeah, you just have the same stuff you had before. And I think the Ags was nerfed, if I remember correctly, and the Ags was insane. And it still is kind of insane, but it was just nerfed a little bit, and so then that double hit is all you really got, which is weird. Then Bane, there's nothing crazy good about the hero. I mean, you want Ags, and that can be insane. There's also single target, which is weird. I mean, there are definitely things about the hero that can be good, but just kind of not great. Same thing with Pugna, just kind of afterthought, decent with the saving and all the stuff it has always done, but nothing crazy. Spiritbreaker, more of a 4. Kind of feels awkward if you have a Spiritbreaker 5 because he doesn't do anything in the lane. That's really the problem. The laning stage just sucks. So if you have a 5 Spiritbreaker in your team, sometimes you can just feel like you're griefing. Then Undying, just a worse Treant. It's kind of weird because I feel like you can definitely dominate if you are against 2 strength heroes in the off lane. If they have, whatever, a Mars and a Spirit Breaker or whatever. You can definitely own because of those 2 strength heroes, you're just destroying them. But other than that, sometimes it can feel weird, especially because people are picking Wind Ranger and all this shit now in the off lane. Then we have Snapfire. Again, just on the upswing, better now because of the one facet with the cone of the scatter blast, but still not the best overall, kind of falls off later. AA just really awkward because of how they changed the way the damage works. So I still don't think people have actually played this enough. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but to actually figure out if it's good, because it just feels weird. But I don't think it's as good as it was because it's not as simple to play. You have to like be up in the fight. You have to cast all your spells correctly. Nobody wants to do that. Everybody just wants to press R twice and then win. I mean, that's all you want to do. People just want to sit in base and press R and that's it. Let's be honest. That's what AA does. It's like you don't have to play the game. Why would you want to play the game? You know, you're not playing Dota because you want to play Dota. You're playing Dota because you want MMR. So like you're just picking AA and you're jungling and you're pressing R on the team fight. Okay, that's just what you're doing. That's why you picked AA. Don't lie to me. I know it, you know it, and I know that you know, and you know that I know. I mean, it's just, we all get it here, and this is what's going on. Then we have Silencer. This hero's dead, but then it's actually kind of not dead because I feel like it's actually kind of annoying as shit when it right-clicks you. But they're trying to make it more of a core now, and I hope that's what happens, but it's still not a great support because you still kind of just press R, and you still don't really right-click people because if you walk in, you just die. That's the problem. Marcy, again, it's kind of like, what if you pick a Spirit Breaker 5 and a Marcy 5? Like, what? I don't know. You better have like a Drow or something on your team that's like feels good to lane, even if you're doing nothing. And then Hoodwink, again, more of like a 4 position, is like A tier or whatever in the 4 position, but 5 just a little bit awkward. Then D tier, all these heroes are kind of poop. Shadow Demon just on the decline. Not that great right now. Chen feels awkward. I mean, his facets like a kind of whatever. Also, you have to be a Chen hero. I mean, a Chen picker to actually even be good, and I don't think it's good for the most part because you're not snowballing games like in most pubs, honestly. So even when it's like A tier, S tier in pros, I feel like you honestly shouldn't even pick it in most MMR brackets anyway. Techie's a weird 5 position, doesn't feel great. Enchantress is one of those where it's like it's the win rate's bad and the pick rate's bad or whatever, but I feel like if you know what you're doing and you can actually pick it in the right game, you can honestly just like win straight up. You can just be like insane. You're like right clicking. I think it's really about matchups because sometimes this hero just like dies in 2 seconds because you're against high attack speed heroes or insane magic damage. But then sometimes it feels like this hero cannot die and it just like is right clicking everybody for 5 billion damage. Then Dazzle, you can definitely save people and like do the normal support stuff that it's done for a long time, but you'd rather have like a Winter Wyvern or an Oracle, let's say. Then Mirana, not really a 5, but I mean, I guess you could play it. Same thing with Gyro, kind of a dead hero, but I guess you could play it. Enigma, I guess you could play it. Keeper Light, I guess I guess you could play these. I mean, that's why I'm putting them here, not F, because they're pickable, I guess. Maybe, sort of, but not really, but kind of, whatever. Then we have F tier. None of these heroes are pickable. Do not pick this hero. Do not pick this. Do not pick this. Do not pick this. But seriously, don't pick Omni Knight because this hero is dead. This hero was deleted from Dota. It was an offlane hero that kind of right-clicked people and blew them up, and now that's gone, and now it doesn't exist. So you're actually, if you try to pick it in the game, it won't allow you because the hero is deleted. And then Dawnbreaker is an awkward 5. Like, it's even worse than these other melee ones. Batrider, again, like, what's going on? I don't know. Nobody knows. But it's not a support anymore, I guess. Nature's Prophet, not a support anymore. Clinks is, like, definitely one of, like, you know, I was kind of kidding a little bit, but not really, about the Pudge thing. But Clinks is definitely a grief. Like, if you're picking Clinks 5, I'm just abandoning, like, straight up. I don't care. And then Wind Ranger, this was a 5 10 years ago when back in 1981 when Seb won a major with it, but it's not really a 5 anymore. And Zeus is not a 5. So again, this is like Clinks. It's like the magic damage version of Clinks that if you pick this as a 5, I'm abandoning. So that's the F tier, and that is the list. That's the 5 position list, and hopefully I didn't sound too sick. Hopefully it wasn't too low energy for you guys, and let me know what you think about the list. And yeah, we'll do this again in whenever they update the game. The qualifiers are pretty much over, so this, you know, they'll probably patch it in like 3 hours. So, or maybe they already patched it. I'm just going to release the video anyway. Who cares? Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, all those kinds of things. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.